Kowloon's Curse Lost Report is a surreal first-person adventure game that takes inspiration from the real-life walled city formerly located in Hong Kong, weaving supernatural storytelling with a gritty, dismal cyberpunk mood, bizarre creatures, unique locations to explore, and rudimentary RPG combat elements. The game makes for an exciting and mysterious, totally free 4-hour experience. Despite coming out in 2023, I'd never heard of the game before, and there isn't very much out there about it. So stay a while and listen, while I give you a guided tour through a surreal adventure that's very much worth your time. The game starts in a dream world represented by an office. A man known as John C. gives us a quiz to get a sense of our personality. We wake up in a small apartment and get a chance to take a look around. Hashtag male living space. Right away we see this game has a weird sense of humor. Besides watching strange stuff on TV, we can log on to an homage of famous image boards where people discuss people dying live on air. We play Tony, apparently some kind of enforcer for an organized crime syndicate. Picking up a payphone outside, our boss tells us we need to get a briefcase from a club called Echoes in another part of the city, as a shipment of something never made it to the boss. We pick up our frenemy and partner Sergio at his house and get ready to go. Let me just establish this up top. This world is weird. We've got strange creatures for neighbors. There's a cat smoking a cigarette. And these fish guys act as a postal service, carrying packages from person to person. But nobody knows where they came from. Many people without textures mill around to give the impression of crowded city streets. Meanwhile, we can access different districts of the city using the subway train. The soundtrack includes instrumental hip-hop for gritty urban scenes, while other tracks are more mysterious or ethereal. I think they did a good job in the ambiance department, and I rate the game highly for atmosphere. The general gameplay consists of walking in first person on a grid, speaking to NPCs, collecting items, and turn-based RPG-style combat. Many interactions have extra options that you can select based on your level in these 3 skill areas that you can see on the pause menu. There's battle tendency, an obvious JoJo reference, mytho-poetic worldview, and no nautical affinity. You can see a bit of Disco Elysium influence here as your skill levels unlock new dialogue options. Sergio seems to be less than socially well-adjusted. He's abusive towards waitstaff and dreams of getting out of the enforcer lifestyle by becoming a famous musician. He sees us as a ball and chain dragging him down in life despite knowing us since childhood. Sure enough, when we go to get the briefcase from Club Echoes, things go off the rails and the job is botched, as the hot-headed Sergio shoots the briefcase, which weirdly bleeds out like a person. We flee the scene, agreeing to meet up later. In our dreams that night, we meet Mr. Malfunction, a character who never really shows up again, but seems to be an agent of some kind of cosmic force or organization pulling the strings behind the events of our life. Our boss is pissed after screwing up the last gig, but lets us redeem ourselves by ordering us to pick up rent money from a mahjong parlor that hasn't paid recently. After a side quest to gain access to the parlor, this mission goes totally wrong too. Sergio, not wanting to continue this life of crime, turns on us after having a breakdown. The game features an uncomplicated combat system with a physical attack QTE, not unlike Undertale. Various other moves are unlocked depending on your skill levels. This skill, for example, has you hack into the opponent's phone to dox their personal information, demoralizing them and skipping a few turns. Other techniques include this JoJo-inspired pummeling attack if your battle tendency skill is high enough. While it is possible to get in a tight spot if you aren't careful, I never found the game to be difficult. After defeating Sergio, we're called to the boss's hideout only to be shot to death as punishment for our screw-ups. And, there the game ends? Well, no. Turns out this is another game with a fake ending. After the credits roll, we get this flashback where we play hide-and-seek with Sergio and another childhood friend, Amane. In a bizarre twist of fate, she was murdered in broad daylight after she stepped away from our game to visit the corner store. After this recollection, John C. laments the fact that our adventure didn't end the way we may have wanted, and offers us his aid. We then wake up back at the start of the story, and here we can play through another loop of the game with maxed out abilities. Despite not remembering the previous loop, Tony senses some kind of premonition and warns Sergio before he has the chance to botch the Echo's job. That night, we're confronted by an entity simply called Kowloon, which is upset with us for trying to fight back against our fate. It warns us that the future is not meant to be changed, and not to attempt to save ourselves anymore. This is a good moment to talk about the side quests in the game. Despite being only a few hours long, the game has several major side quests that aren't directly related to the main story. It seems like the developer simply wanted to make additional content for the game after the first version was well received. I'll be covering two of them in this video. The first side quest involves those prepaid card scams. A man on a public phone tells us he has a wonderful investment opportunity, but we need to give him prepaid card codes for the seed money. Come on, Tony, you're smarter than this. After realizing we've been had, we enlist the help of a reclusive hacker via a few fetch quests that track the man down. The side quest ends in a fight, after which we get our money back plus interest. The second, much more interesting side quest involves a cult that strongly resembles real-life New Religions. The quest hook can be found on the image board, where users discuss the Cult of the Blind One. If we go to meet one of the users offline, we're directed to acquire a secret book from the Church of the Ninth Finger. After jumping through hoops such as a personality audit, proselytizing to recruit new members struggling in life, and roughing up a journalist who wrote negative press, we're finally given full membership and get to meet the leader. The church leader knows all about our attempt to get the esoteric book and shoots us immediately. In an absolutely wild twist, we actually get to see one of the saints of the religion who basically tells us that burning fields await the dead. We're sent back to the living as she determines it's not our time yet. The church leader dies from the shock of seeing us get back up, after which the church self-destructs. We have the option of helping the journalist and setting the cult's prisoners free, after which we finally grab the book from a library that looks like it came from a different game. The rewards to the side quest are not impressive, just some extra world-building text from the image board user. Still, I found it quite interesting that after completing the quest, you see the freed prisoners in the city, represented by these different textures. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to find the third side quest. I can see this impassable keypad here where Tony mentions that a hacker with enough skill could bypass it. There's also the stone with a Ka on it, but I couldn't figure out how to get past it. This was despite maxed out skills in the second loop. If you know what's going on with these, could you let me know in the comments below? Meanwhile, in the main story, we receive a vision of Amine who asks us to help save Sergio. Unfortunately, we are still unable to stop him from breaking down at the parlor, and we take a bullet before waking up in another dreamlike place. Spoiler alert, by the way, we're just about at the end here. While Kowloon confronts us, it is foiled in stopping us from reaching Sergio by another entity that isn't quite explained. I think it's implied that this is a shrine god of some sort, intervening in human affairs. Our final confrontation with Sergio involves this Yakuza-style cinematic, and a dramatic fight filled with more QTEs. Time rewinds to before Sergio shoots us. Now listening to us, we retreat from the mahjong parlor. Sergio resolves to end his life of crime and begin anew while our boss praises us before the credits roll. While the game is more or less self-contained, it was clearly meant to be a first episode of something. Many of the characters in the dream world, such as Mr. Malfunction, John C., and Kowloon itself aren't fully explained, and most of what's really going on here remains mysterious. A website exists for the game where Lost Report is described as being a standalone prequel. The last major post is from August of 2023, so if they were planning a full-length game, it hasn't come out yet. Hopefully the project wasn't abandoned or cancelled, as I enjoyed the overall experience and would love to see more. Overall, if you're into high strangeness in a dismal urban setting, this one is for you. Alright, that's it everyone. I love weird, surreal, and absurdist indie games, as well as anything with a unique or unusual visual art style. If you know something that might fit in on this channel, let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to see another bizarre first-person adventure, check out this video right over here. Alright, see you next time.